Watch that dial.
Welcome back to another edition of Kickin It With Clovis, and today we're kicking it with Randy Webb, who will be hosting a comedy show coming up here in mid-February. Randy, thanks for taking some time out of your busy schedule to talk to us.
Oh, thanks for having me over. It's always fun to talk to people. I like to do it.
Now, as a comedian, this has got to be super interesting for those of us who aren't necessarily very funny. We're very envious of what you stand up and do every night. How did you get into the comedy routine?
To be honest, it happened on a whim. I'm always telling stories to my friends and stuff like that, and a friend of mine said, you should get up on stage, because we used to always go to the weekly comedy shows. And what I didn't realize was one day he actually spoke to some of the comics and actually arranged for me to go up on stage. And then he just told me that you're going up on stage today. Yeah. And I did, and it worked out really well. People liked it. It was fun. I enjoyed it. So it's like a first-time addiction. It was really good.
How long ago was that?
Oh, this was... okay, I'll say it was my 36th birthday, so long time ago. Yeah. Way too long ago.
And you've been doing it ever since. Obviously, you must have loved it so much, that first experience, to keep you going this long. To this day, I'm sure, describe that feeling, what it's like when you're on stage. You still got to get the nerves, but excitement too. Right?
It's a definite combination of both. You get really nervous up there, but it's such an adrenaline rush when you hear the people laughing and you know they're enjoying your routines, especially it's stuff you write yourself and you get it out there and people are laughing, and like people look up, oh, that's happened to me too. Oh, that is funny. And then you get the reaction, and there you are. It's fun. It's, shivers.
Ooh, shivers. Who are some of the comedians maybe like growing up that maybe you look up towards? Or I know you said you weren't maybe in the comedy when you were a youngster, but can you think of a couple names maybe that you kind of base yourself after?
Definitely people like George Carlin.
Yeah.
Robin Williams. I love Robin Williams. I'm not nearly as manic as he is, but I love him. And Richard Pryor. Observational humor is my favorite type of humor. I know I've been entertained when I look up and say, yeah, I understand that. That happens to me too, and then I laugh. That's the best. That's the best type of humor, I think.
Robin Williams, I think every time I watch that, it's like tears because you're laughing so hard.
You can't stop laughing with Robin Williams. And George Carlin, Richard Pryor, just some of the greats are just amazing. Yeah. And you could watch them over and over again, and even if it's the same stuff, you've heard it time and time again, you still laugh. So.
Do you think that's one of the main keys is telling those jokes that people can relate to? Because a lot of stuff is just kind of over your head, right? So you're sitting here and you're like, oh man, like I bet you this was funny if I knew what they were talking about. But like you mentioned with Robin Williams and George Carlin, it's a lot of stuff people can relate to. Yeah. So do you think that's one of the keys to making people laugh? Or?
Oh, I definitely think so. If a person understands, like if you're going to use political humor, make sure the people in the room understand politics. If you're going to use any type of humor, you have to make sure they understand and can relate to you. And that's the thing. Everybody can. I mean, most of my humor is from family. Yeah. Everybody has family. Everybody has that one uncle that they hide in the closet, sort of thing. That they don't want to see, and I just talk about mine.
Now, you're hosting a show here at Average Joe's February 18th. Now, as the host, it's almost, even though it's not the main act, it's a huge part of the show because you got to kind of start it off and then keep the night kind of flowing along. So, as a host, what are some keys when you first walk on the stage when you see that audience?
First off, you got to be able to try to read the audience, know what type of humor they're going to be into. Like, they're coming to this show, they're into a specific type of humor. So you just got to read the reactions and stuff like that. Like, there's going to be some people who are kind of hiding in the back because they want to pick on or anything like that. So those are the ones you focus on. And you just got to watch. And it just can't be, you can't be nervous. Well, you can be nervous. And sometimes the nervous energy is the best type of energy to have. But you just got to make sure, keep the eye contact and make sure people are just focused on you. Yeah. Even if they're talking, just start jumping up and down. Yeah. Do something, just scream. Yeah. Do something so they just kind of stop and just say, what? Yeah.
What's going on?
What's happening? So definitely.
Yeah. Have you ever had a heckler?
Oh yeah, I've had heckler.
Yeah. I mean, you hear so many explanations, but I can't imagine or understand what it's actually like when you're on stage. How do you address a heckler? Like, do you pick on them or what do you do?
See, for me, when I deal with a heckler, mostly it's like he'll say something rude to me and I'll just say, thanks, Dad. I'll maybe insult them. A lot of times I'll try to keep up with you. Yeah. depends. There's some hecklers who are just fun to work with because they're there to enjoy the show, but they're trying to test you and see how good you are. So then you just play off of them.
Yeah.
There are some hecklers who are jerks. Those guys, I usually just kind of let them off to the side, and I usually feed them to the host or to the main act. Yeah. I've seen, like the gentleman I'm hosting for this weekend, Mike Dambra, he's absolutely brilliant. I've seen him tear people apart,
Really?
like apart to the point where they're walking out the door and crying.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, you just gotta basically do your best and not. You can't let them get to you, because if you let them get to you, then you're in trouble. Yeah,
It's all part of the job.
it's all part of the job. Yep.
All right, Randy Webb, come check it out. February 18th, tickets here at Average Joe's.
Oh yeah, definitely. $15, and like I said, please come out. It's live stand-up is probably the best and most amazing art form because it's the most fun.
Yeah, there you go. Lots of fun. Funny man. We talked to him earlier. You'll hear lots of stuff that we can't maybe mention on screen right now, but
I'm sorry.
he had us howling pretty good. It was a good time. Come check it out February 18th right here at Average Joe's. Randy, Mike. Who's Mike?
Mike's the headliner. Mike, short, gray, Randy, tall, fat.
There you go. Randy, that's a good combination. It's perfect, eh? All right, Randy, thanks so much for doing this. We'll see you next time right here on Kickin' It with Clovis.